All right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a message regarding the sower, the power of the sower, the power of the sower. And this is something I was reading up on earlier today, and I thought it would be a great uh, uh, message to try to cover Matthew's chapter 13. Chapter 13. And I guess we're going to start with verse 1. We're going to cover chapter 13, and I'm going to start with verse 1 and stop at verse 23. So we're starting from Matthew's chapter 13 and verse 1. And this here message is something really good for me because it showed me the two sides. The two sides. I have said in time past and time present that there is two sides to it all. He does things in twos. A lot of people say things are done in 11, 7, and other numbers, 6, but I found out that from the beginning to the end, things are done more so in twos than anything on the face of the earth and the things that has rest in heaven. It has always, he has always set things up in twos. Every time he created something, he created one for this and one for that, all the way to the end. Heaven, the New Jerusalem and the lake of fire. Two different locations. Everything he has done, he have set it up in twos. And when he talked throughout the Genesis to Revelation, you can see where he always rests things in twos. So when I was reading Matthew's chapter 13, I saw that same sign and how he does things in twos. Okay. I have accepted that his norm is under twos. It's twos. It's always covering twos. He'll do one way, he'll do another. He'll do one way, he'll do another. And a lot of things in life is also surrounded in twos. Here in Matthew's chapter 13 and verse 1, we're going to start Matthew's chapter 13 and verse 1. But first of all, I want to say to you all, I could do nothing. I could speak nothing. I could teach nothing. I cannot feel nothing. I cannot understand nothing. I can't comprehend nothing. I can't do nothing without the Most High Yah. Nothing can I do without the Most High Yah. Okay? I have pretty much embraced that whole mindset all my life. All my life. Even to the year 2023, today, this year, today, yesterday. I'm always and shall always need him. I'm not one that can feel I know enough to just go on my own, or I can do this and I can do this and I can, no. I'm nothing without the Most High, Yah. I mean nothing. So I just thank him for allowing me to be something in him, because I'm nothing to myself, but to him, I'm something. And I just thank him for allowing me to be something in him when I'm nothing in myself, okay, without him. So in Matthew's chapter 13 is a good message, because it covers two. And I've heard many bishops and pastors and teachers cover this topic, but they covered it out of the flesh, not knowing the spiritual surrounding in this chapter here, because it has lots of good treats, spiritual, that the flesh cannot even see. And in Matthew's chapter 13, he's speaking to two. He's speaking regarding two. And I'm going to start off with Matthew's chapter 13 and verse 1. The same day went Yeshua out of the house and sat by the seaside. He left out of the house and he sat by the seaside. And a great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Now, right now, this is between the multitude and Yeshua. Yeshua went into the ship and sat and left the multitude on the shore. Verse 3, and he spake many things unto them in parables. When I see parables, I feel good, because it lets me know that he's giving information to both, as if me as well. I'm on this devil platform. I'm giving it to the ear that hear and the ear that cannot hear. You see, the ear that hear and the ear that cannot hear. Okay. So here, Yeshua was on the seaside and is decided to go into the ship, and he left and he left the multitude on the shore. Okay. And it says in verse 3, and he spake many things unto them in parables. Look at the time that he took out. It says here, he spanked, which I say spoke, but spanked many things unto them in parables. Okay. And what here, this is what he was saying. Behold, behold mean look, look. A sower went forth to sow. A sower went forth to sow. Now, normally, if you're speaking of, let's say, the position of a sower, or someone that sows the seeds and is a sower, they would go out, they would tilt the ground and get it ready and sow seeds. Sometimes they don't even have to tilt the ground. They just there to sow the seeds, place the seeds in the area, okay, where it need be. That's what this sower work was. And the sower, I want you to also understand, is Yah, okay? Yah is the sower, okay? Okay? He went forth to sow. So he's giving them a parable and something that they could hold on to, not something that they're going to live out, because he was giving them something to hope for. Let's put it like that. So he tells the multitude, behold, he's giving them this information in a parable. He said, behold, a sower went forth to sow. That means the sower went out to plant. Okay. Now watch this here. Verse 4. And when he sowed, plant, when he sowed some seeds. Notice the seeds in which he is planting. You see? You see the seeds? It has SEEDS. And it's kind of like slanted, so you can kind of do your deep search of the importance of the word seed. SEEDS. And it says in verse 4, and when he sowed some seeds fell by the wayside. So this is a sower who knows how to sow the seeds, but somewhere along the line, the seeds fell by the wayside. And what happened? The fowls came and devoured them up. Look as if those seeds in which a sower has planted allowed the seeds to be in the area where they got ate up by the fowls. Okay. Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth. And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of the earth. Now, just imagine seeds being sowed in the area of where there's stony, like stony rocks, like stones, you know, those little pebbles or stony place. Okay. What happened? Where they had no earth. These are seeds with an S. And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of the earth. They had stone. They was in stony area where it can't really fully spring up and sprout up and be successful seeds being placed among stony places. So it couldn't sprout up the way it needed to if it was in the right soil. Okay, so we got the seeds with an S being sowed near the wayside. I like how they said it though, because they said it fell, the seeds fell by the wayside. And in verse 7, it says, and some fell by a stony place. And I'm gonna get to that point. When you get to verse 6, verse 6, and when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered. Those are the ones that's the stony place. When the sun come up, these seeds were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. Okay. Now, when we get to verse 7, it says, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. These are seeds. So we got three situations here. And let's finish verse 7. It says, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into no. Let's stop at 7. Let's go to 7 again. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. I want you to look at the fact that these are seeds being sowed. And in the process of the sower sowing the seeds, some fell on the wayside, some fell on stony places, and some fell among thorns. These are three different places that this sower is sowing these seeds. But yet he's allowing some to fall by the wayside, by stony place, and by thorns. Just think, if you got somebody that's sowing seeds and they are a sower, the first thing they don't want to do is waste their seeds. Okay? Somewhere in here, the sower sowed the seeds, but he was allowing some to fall by the wayside, some to fall in stony places, and some to fall among thorns where they will not and cannot and shall not come forth. Praise the mighty Yah. Now we're speaking of this sower. This sower. Truly, this sower knew how to sow. And he sowed seeds. But it appeared to me that the power of this sower still allowed seeds with an S to go by the wayside, by stony places, and by the thorns, where truly he knew that the seeds could not produce from that stony place, from the side, the wayside, and from the thorns. But the sower, the sower who sowed these seeds, think, y'all, think. That was a powerful one. Because in verse 8, it says, but others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. You see? This shows you here that out of the 4 locations that the sower, 4 separate locations, the sower sowed seeds. But when it came down to verse 8, but others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Verse 9, who has ears? You see that S? Who has ears to hear? Let him hear. Who has ears to hear? Let him hear. Now you notice the ears is he speaking natural, fleshly. He that has ears to hear, let him hear. Why? Because this is a parable he's setting forth. He's setting forth to us the multitude. They were given a parable. Okay. Now, you got to keep in mind the sower. When the Father brought this to me 23 years ago, the question I had was, why is it that sower sowed seeds in areas in which it cannot spring up? Why was that sower doing that? And what was the purpose? Until those are the type of question I asked. And the answer I got was, what I am, the sower. Yah is the sower. Okay. And the word, the seed that you see here are parables given unto them. He sowed seeds to those that were on the he sowed seeds by the wayside. He sowed seeds. He didn't sow the seeds there. They fell by the wayside. Let me say that. And some fell by upon the stony places, and some fell among thorns. So it wasn't like the soil were, to be the truth. He was fully aware. This is a parable that the Father is giving the multitude. And you're going to see when Sister Deborah started off and said that there's twos, he does things in twos. You're going to start to realize that he's talking to the multitude here, but then he's going to bring the disciples the understanding of the sower, okay, who sowed the seeds. Okay. Now, in verse 10, I like 9 because he's telling the multitude, who has ears to hear, let him hear. Hear the what? The parable that I have given unto thee. Now watch this here. In verse 10, it says, and the disciples came, and they said unto him, why speaketh thou unto them in parables? They were confused. Why are you speaking this way to the multitude? Going back to, like I've said to you all several times, Sister Deborah feels like sometimes she's just speaking and no one's really getting it and hearing it. Here's an example here. Is where they were questioning Yeshua in how he was speaking to the multitude. Why was he saying what he was saying and the way he was saying it? Why was he giving them parables? And this is what the Father revealed to me. I've heard you. I've heard you. You give them parables. And he kind of he told me that is exactly what Yeshua did. And he gave me like a well done. Because throughout the time I've been on this Deborah platform, I have realized, I have come to the conclusion, but I'm in the race. And I'm not in the race for you. I'm in the race that the Father has set before me. And in my lane has he prepared me. I'm in that race for that reason. Okay? So when I'm there, I'm asking these questions, and I've been there for quite a long time, but I ask these questions because these are the same questions the disciples asked Yeshua. In verse 10, it says, and the disciples came, and they said unto him, why speaketh thou unto them in parables? They trying to ask him, why are you speaking to them in these parables? Because, see, that was confusing them. Because they know he was speaking to them one way, and they trying to understand, well, why are you speaking to them this way? Okay. And then Yeshua answered the disciples and said unto them, because it is given. it is given. I like the word given because it's almost bring me to a past tense almost. But listen to what he says in verse 11. And he answered and said unto them, this is Yeshua speaking to his disciples regarding the parables that he's given the multitude. He said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of where? Heavens. But to them it is not given. There go the twos. You've given it. It ain't been given to them. You see? Those that fell, the seeds that fell by the wayside, stony place, and the thorns, you're going to find out. This is for one group. And the group that fell on good ground is for another group. One group is to die. They're not going to gain the word. And the other group is going to produce the word and bring forth fruit. There you go, another two. Everything Yah does, he does in two. Okay? Many people don't believe that. Okay? But it is what it is. Okay? So as verse 11, he's telling them, Yeshua is telling his disciples, and he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. That helps me out a great deal, because it does remind me, if he told me that so many times, he said, I know you giving them the pure word. They're not going to get it unless I give it to them. I open up that ear, or I give it to them. You see, this leads you, this should lead you to understand all that Ahaya has given you is not from a man to you, from a woman to you. It is from Ahaya. And that's what Yeshua was also saying. Everything that you see I do, it is not mine. It is my Father's. See, same thing. Same thing. But this is one of the biggest mysteries. One is his power. Two is his name that rests in his power. Three is the mysteries are just not given to everybody. And this lead people to fall away in their own self-understanding, their own belief, in the way their own interpretation, their own way of seeing it. And they have every right, because to many, the multitude is given parables. But those that Ahaya gives the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, but to them, he said, it is not given. It is not given, Deborah. It is not given, Deborah. And that's, to me, is a form of comforting me, because it's letting me know it's okay. It's okay. This need be. It's not given to everyone. It's not for everyone. Okay. Now, what did he say here in verse 12? For whosoever have, to him shall be given. There that word given, y'all. Now, where's the word love in all of this? That's Yeshua is speaking. Where's the word love in all of this? Because given and gave is the definition of what man has placed love to be. And when you place love, you don't know the action of Yah's love in the word love. You have to understand it by give and gave. That's the only way. So when you get ready to display what the world calls the love of Yah, it has to be give and gave. Give what? Give your ear. Give your message. give your eyes to be eyes to see for others. It's based on the things that is give and gave. And I love that because it is a mystery. But listen to what he says in verse 11. And he answered and said unto his disciples, this is what he said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them, Deborah, it is not given. You see how he's saying the word given twice in this one sentence, because he wants you to get the disciples to get the idea that what you have, it has been given to you. It ain't been given to them. Now, when you go down to verse 12, it kind of helps you out there too. And it says, for whosoever have, who is he that have? The ones that have been given. Praise the mighty Yah. Okay. In verse 12, it says, whosoever have, to him shall be given. So a lot of times you all don't understand, even when Sister Deborah is speaking and I'm telling you, he's giving me this, he keep giving me this. He talking to me every day. He talking to me at nighttime. He talking to me in the morning, early morning. He talking to me in my car. Listen, this is what this is saying. Because it is given unto you to know, Deborah, the mystery of the kingdom of heaven. But to them, it is not given. He's speaking of heaven. He's speaking of his power. He's speaking of what he has given us to before we came down to our mother's womb, before we, before the foundation of the world. These are the things that was given unto us. Okay, now this is what he said in verse 12. For whosoever have, if Sister Deborah got it, what? To him shall be given. That's why he visit me in the midnight hour. That's why he visit me in the early morning hour, through the water, in the car, all day long. And I said, Father, I be telling them that I learn something every day. You come to me every day saying something. Do you know 99 billion couldn't even understand that? Because it hasn't been given unto them. So they wouldn't. It haven't been given to them. And I like in Matthew chapter 13, because I like how he's going to break all this stuff down. He's dealing with twos. One is given and one is not. You see? And he don't want he that is given to feel that, okay, you giving it to me. Truly, if I speak it to another, then they're going to have it too. He said, no, you keep forgetting, Deborah. I am the sower. And if I don't sow it in the right place, wherever it thinks and feel it's sold, let it be. That's why. Now, let me tell you the scary thing about that. It gave you 4 examples. 3 of them was in the wrong place. And only 1 of the example was in the soil in which it needed to bring fruit. You see, I'm talking about kingdom, the heavens, the mystery that 99 trillion don't know that was in the heavens before it was on the earth. That's why Yeshua is telling them it was given, not by me, but by my Father in the heavens. People won't grasp that. They won't get it. They won't get it. Now listen to this. Let's go back to verse 12. For whosoever have, the one that is given, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. So when Sister Deborah is telling you that I'm learning something every day, it's telling you many things about this individual. It's telling you many things about me. She don't know it all, because if she got to be taught throughout the day, and she learns something every day, Look like she don't know nothing if he got to come to her that much. You get what I'm saying? Because he that it is given to, more should be given unto that one. And that's why the Father visits me. That answered the question. Yeshua broke that thing down. Not only did he break it up, he broke it down. Let's put it like that. Now listen to this here. And he says, but whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that which he think he has, because he don't have nothing. He don't have anything. So whatever he have, it's going to be automatically taken from him, because he run around here wants to make people think he's holier than thou. I got this, I'm this. He said it shall be taken, meaning that only one going to follow him is the multitude. Who's what? Deceived. By who? The deceivers. So when I see here, he's talking about to you, he's telling the disciples, to you is giving the mystery of the kingdom of heaven. Didn't I tell y'all he taught me as a young child? And then the first thing he taught me is what took place before what? Come on now, somebody needs to talk to me. What did he say? What took place before what? Heaven and earth was created. So what did he teach me? Exactly what he's saying to them. The mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. And that's what's the mystery when I try to tell people about something took place, y'all, before the foundation of the world. You can't get people to read that. You can't comprehend that. They can't. They too far in the deep. They can't comprehend it. It's not because they can't. Yeshua is telling them because it has not been given. Okay. Now, when you get to verse 13, it says, therefore speak I to them in parables. He's shutting the disciples down. This is why I speak to them in parables. Because this is the part I really like. Yeshua was saying to the disciples, therefore I to them in parables, because they see and see not. They hear not. Neither do they understand. So when I'm on this devil platform and I'm giving a message or I'm speaking, that is identical the way I feel. I feel like, wait a minute. I think, because when I get to speaking pure word, I'm trying to figure out wait a minute. People are supposed to be responding, Father, these people are supposed to be cutting up on that message. That's the pure word. That's the mystery. And when you sit here spilling on this devil platform, the mystery of the kingdom and the pure word of Yah, and then people are not responding to it, first thing triggered in my mind. Gone. They can't get it. So Yeshua is saying identical, the same thing. In verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see, but they not seeing. They hear, but they not hearing. Neither do they understand. That understanding is big. That's big. Today, understanding is the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why he said, I come to teach you all things, because he come to give you understanding of all things. You see? And this is not something Yeshua is saying just to the disciples. He's saying it to those who's supposed to follow behind him, the elects. You see? We as the chosen elects, the servants of Yah, falling behind Yeshua. This here makes you feel, you can feel the comfort that you have. Just read me today when I was reading, I said, oh, that feels really good. Yes, it does, because it's spirit and truth. And it's making you see that it ain't that you on the deep end. Let them be on the deepest end they want to ride on. Let them ride. Because heaven, like you try to teach it, orchestrated it from the beginning. It has nothing to do with you. So therefore, if you're putting out to people what I say to you at nighttime, Deborah, you telling people what I'm speaking to you in the water. You telling people when you wake up at night what I'm saying to you. You telling people what I'm saying to you when you're driving throughout the day. You're giving them a double blessing. And just because they can't see it, you can't get mad. Understand, I ain't gave it to them. You giving it to them. but I have not gave it to them. It is given unto them that holds the what? The mystery to the kingdom. That's what he was trying to explain to me when I was teaching. I had that board teaching what took place before the foundation of the world. He said, the drawing, he really, Ahaya told me that was really nice the way I drew it up, because it was the way he taught it to me. And I was drawing it based on the way he showed me and he taught me. And that's when he told me, you can break it down, you can say everything the way I taught you, but it is given by the sower who sowed the seeds. That will be the parable of their understanding. You see what I'm saying? So you have to go that route. Okay. Now in verse 13, it says, therefore speak I to them. He's talking to the disciples in parables, because they see not, they hear not, neither do they understand. This is identical of what I'll be saying to people. I'll be telling them, if you don't get this, I'm like, and then most of the times I don't say anything, but I come back a day, a week later and say, y'all supposed to be clamming on top of that. You supposed to be on top of that, because I always felt that I'm a prophetess in the wilderness. Your position could be a higher position. And when I say a higher, that means a position that goes to talk to many, to do miracles and signs while you teaching and while you preach, all of that sort of stuff. But I am a prophetess. Every prophetess, they stayed in one location and people came to them. You see what I'm saying? They were the ones that the kings would come to for information. They're the one that would bring judgment. So do that seem like somebody who do all the positions? No. But when we get to verse 14, I don't know if it's in you all's Bible. In mine, it's got a star on the side, a dark star. So what the Father's saying to me is something. It's something that I need to really look at. Verse 14, for in them is fulfilled the prophecy of, what's that? Isaac. What is that? Isaiah. One of the prophets. I know that's who it is. Isaiah, which said it, by hearing ye hear, and shall not understand. Now, see there, that's sad. That's really sad. You see, I read that today, but I didn't get that. And seeing ye shall see and not perceive. But who said this? That was the prophet before Deborah's time. He knew it like I knew it. He knew it. And he said in verse 14, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esau, which you all believe, I cannot get that one out. Elijah, not Esau. Elias. That it? Elias, which said, now this is what he said. Now that was a prophet. I do know that. But hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand. And seeing ye shall not perceive. Now, look at that. And I'm wondering why I would wonder, me myself, the star, what is it saying? I would wonder if I wasn't in truth. I would wonder, but I know exactly what it's saying. It's saying you a prophet, and that's a prophet. He's saying something to you, Deborah. He's letting you know, me too, Deborah. I I experience what you be experiencing. Me too. That's what he's saying. Because he's saying, by hearing ye said shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. So that's showing you that here it is, a prophet of the old saying the same thing Yeshua is saying. It was already, what does it say in verse 15? No, on verse 14. And in them is fulfilled. See there? Fulfilled the prophecy of the prophet. It's already fulfilled. They're going to see and not see. They're going to hear and not hear. So when you hear Sister Deborah saying it, and if anybody get angry and disappointed what she's saying, that's on you, baby. People don't get it. But I think this is my thing. I think if people would search the purpose of Yah in them, because once you search the purpose that Yah has invested in you as a servant, you'll be about your Father's business. You will really be about your Father's business. And in the process of being about your Father's business, you'll say, well, you know what? I experienced that with Sister Deborah experienced. I see where she's coming from. I see exactly what she's saying. You see what I'm saying? But this is going back to what I say. I would tell you all something, and I said, Father, that was potent. That's what I would say to the Father. Father, that was pretty potent. And I wait 2 or 3 days, go back and see if I see a response. Don't see anything, go back to the which I don't do often, but when I do go back to the live chat, I said, I'm gonna see if somebody caught it. And when I see that ain't nobody, I'm like, Father, it ain't like I got 20 people online. I said, but at least one should be able to get it. And that's what that is so powerful. So this is coming to be a comfort to me. This is comforting me. Yeshua, what Yeshua is saying, it's such a great comfort, because it's saying the same thing Sister Deborah has been saying on this devil platform. To everybody that listen to my videos, I've been saying it over and over. Now in verse 15, for this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears, see that ears, that's an S. So that's showing you they ain't got no spiritual insight. While he's talking to them in parables, they don't have no spiritual insight. So he's talking to their flesh ear. Because you see it's got an S on it. When it's a singular, then he's talking to the spiritual ear. But this one got an S on it. So he's saying in verse 15, for this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes, the seeing, their natural eyes, they have closed, lest at any time they shall see, and their eyes and ears with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and shall be converted, and I shall heal them. I shall heal them. And that's beautiful too, because it's showing you that even if their ears are closed or dual, and their eyes, their hearts are wax gross, and their ears are dual of hearing, and their eyes have closed, that yet he's saying if they hear and they see and should understand with what? Their heart, and shall be converted, and I shall heal them. Praise the mighty Yah. So this here, he's saying, for this people, and this is exactly what took place. Don't you remember when Yeshua had past, they had crucified, and the Holy Spirit came back. You see, and the disciples went to, what was that? Was it the Church of Acts or Acts, in the book of Acts? You know, where all the people was coming together, and they was on one accord and so on. Then this here is where he's saying in verse 15, for this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, their natural eyes, and hear with their natural ears, and shall understand with their heart. Remember in 15, he said the heart was wax gross. That means this here is showing you, here at the bottom it says, should understand what? With their heart, and shall be converted, and I shall heal them. So this is what the Father is saying to the disciples, because they was confused with what, not the Father, but with Yeshua. They was confused with, why is it you giving them one thing and you giving us another? So he broke it down to them why. Okay, now this is what's going to get you, because he said that in 15, but watch as he continued. Verse 16, but blessed, ed, but blessed are your eyes, for they see. Okay, and your ears, for they hear. Now you notice this here, he's talking about their natural eyes. And what else is he talking about? He's talking about their natural ears. He's talking this to the disciples. Why is he saying this to the disciples? Why is he telling them, but blessed, they are blessed, because your eyes, your natural eyes, and they can see, and your natural ears, they can hear. Why? Because they have the spiritual ear and the spiritual eye. And when you under that, you can see the things which is natural with your natural eyes and your natural ear. Why? Because you see it with your spiritual ear, which is one, and your spiritual eye, which is one. Once you're able to receive it in the spirit realm, you now can see it in the natural realm. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I tell people over and over and over. The natural realm and the spirit realm are two different ones. There go to two. But you have to see everything in a spiritual realm, y'all. It's no way. He's saying this to the disciples. He told them, blessed, ed. You know why? Because heaven's already blessed you. Okay, so you are blessed, or your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Why? Because you are spiritual, giving the mystery to the kingdom of heavens. And according to get the mystery to the kingdom of heavens, you're going to have to know the things which is seen by the natural eyes and the spiritual eyes as well. To me, that's where you see the missions of the servants of Yah, and the how would I can't say chosen, but I will say I say the servants of the Most High, higher, his elects. Okay, this is they are the ones that can see both ways. That's why I don't know if say about a year. It's been about a year and a half. That's all Sister Deborah will say. Y'all don't see it. Y'all don't see what everybody doing. Y'all don't see that. Why isn't nobody saying nothing? Why ain't nobody see? Because I can see it in the spirit and I can see it in the natural. And I try to relay that, and you never got a response. So a lot of times you feel like you're speaking to a brick wall or wall itself. Because to me, when Sister Deborah saying clam on top, truly, come on, somebody out there has the mystery, has the keys to the kingdom. Somebody, even if I got one, pull up, say something. Nobody never said anything. So And I like I say, I'm going back to this because it's really, really good, because I like how Yeshua is telling them. Now, when you have the spiritual eye to see and the spiritual ear to hear, you are blessed in verse 16 to see with your natural eyes, and you are blessed to hear with your natural ears. Why? Because you can hear in your spiritual ear and you can see in your spiritual eye. That's what he says when he said, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. He's telling this to the disciples. Okay, now watch this. Verse 17, it says, for verily I say unto you that many prophets, now listen to this, y'all. I said this a couple of times too. Verily, verse 17, Matthew chapter 13 and verse 17, for verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men, prophets and righteous men, have desire to see those things which ye see. Okay, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. So he's saying that there's many of prophets and righteous men that can see these things. Why? Because they were the ones that was given the mystery of the kingdom. Okay, the kingdom of heaven. You see, and that's the way I also feel even to today, knowing that many prophets of yesterday can't see what Sister Deborah can see, haven't heard what Sister Deborah have heard. You see what I'm saying? So even understanding that, when he's saying that, I fully grip it. I fully embrace it. I fully can understand it. And then he says, let's read 17 again. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see these things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. That who are they? They are prophets and righteous men that have not seen what Sister Deborah have seen today. They haven't seen it, nor have they heard it. That's why I say I can go back to Torah and pick up Torah and live Torah. Baby, they ain't seen what Sister Deborah done seen. They ain't heard what Sister Deborah have heard. So why would I go pick up them as if I need them? All I need is the Most High or higher to keep me straight, because I can't do nothing without. Okay, so verse 18 says, in verse Matthew chapter 13 and verse 18 says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Woo, now who are he talking to? He finna break, what is he getting ready to do? He finna break that thing down, I believe, to the disciples so they can grip it. One thing I can't seem to find that scripture in the Bible, but I think I was something like 13 or 14. And he said, blessed is he that understands the parable and the word. And he was saying there's going to come a time when you're going to understand the parables and the word. And he said, blessed is he that can understand the both, because most people can't. They can't. And that's what the disciples couldn't do. They couldn't understand the parables. That's why they was confused. Why are you telling them this and telling us this? What does that mean when you telling them? They couldn't understand it. But it's a scripture in here where he says, in the days to come, blessed is he that can understand the both. Now, when I was 13 and 14, I could understand it all. I could understand it all the parables. I knew the parables were set for a certain people, but it was the majority the parables were set for. And it did kind of confuse me like it confused them. But I was more so geared to, wait a minute, if I can understand it, wait a minute. It's very understood, because I can understand that he was talking to a different group. They couldn't understand what he was saying to the different group, but I could understand exactly what he was saying, it because I compared it to what he was saying to the disciples. So I said, oh, okay, it's one for one group and one for another. Twos. Okay. Now he says in verse 18, Yeshua said to them, hear ye, therefore, the parable of the sower. When anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then then cometh the wicked one. Now listen to that. Ain't that sad? That's horrible. Wait a minute now, Father. I'm getting confused right here. And I read that and I was looking at it. That's what made me want to bring this on live. Because I've seen this here. I read this today and I was like, wait a minute, that's kind of deep. Now listen to what it says. When anyone heareth the word, this is the parable. This is the understanding the parable. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom. Now this is not the words. It's not this book. Okay? Anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then come the wicked one. They already don't understand. And then you mean to tell me they're going to get a double whammy? Because the wicked going to start coming? Oh, my, Yahaya. Wait a minute. Let's read that again. Verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not. So Satan wait for those who don't understand it. That's scary. Watch this here. Then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in their hearts. This is he which received seed by the wayside. By the wayside. I'm going to show y'all something in there. And let me tell you something. You have to be able to see what is being said. Okay? You have to be able to see what is being said. Now, what I just said, I know it went real fast because you didn't catch the mystery in it. I'm going to read it one more time. Verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then come the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside. Verse 20. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it, yet have he not root in himself. Yet, let me see, verse 21. Yet have he not root in himself, but doeth for a while. For when tribulation or prosecution arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. That is so true. That is so. I've been saying that on the last 5 or 6 of my videos. The last 5 or 6 of my videos, and people might say, she's mean, but let me tell you something. Sister Deborah is getting it. You ain't gonna get it nowhere else, period. She's gonna give it to you. Now, what it's saying here is, and it's saying it real plain. And it's saying let's go to 21 again. Yet have he not let's go to 21. No, let's go to 20. And he that receiveth the seed into the stony place, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. So with joy, they receiveth it. And that's how I feel too. You get on here, Deborah, you teach. They seem like they enjoy it. Okay, they receiveth it. Yet have he not root in himself, but do it for a while. For when tribulations or prosecution arise, because of the what? Because of the what? Because of the word, by and by he is offended. And now who is that one? He that's what? Stony places. Okay. Now verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches. This is when people just think they just, hey, I'm all this, I got it here, I got it, I'm me. And y'all, let me tell you something. Say, for instance, a person didn't have any money, okay, for a whole, let's say 5 years. You should see how they act once they get some, and they get it abundantly. Now they become up here and you down here. They become better and you become worse. They can now look at you and bring you into wrongdoing, wrong said, wrong teaching, wrong preaching. Because money, I digged into that. I'm gonna teach something on that. It is a root of evil. It is a root of evil. Because it can cause a person to act a fool when there's no need to. People don't know how to receive blessing from my Father. They can't receive it and still be how it's leveled. Once they receive it, oh no, now the balance, now everything else is low and they high. That is not of Yah. Those are spirits upon people. And they can't even discern it, nor can they see it. Because they thinking they up here and you down here. I got, you don't, and I'm good. You see? And that's the mentality. Now let's read that again. Let's read that again. And that's for what? Verse 21. Yet have he not rooted in himself, but do it for a while. For when tribulation and prosecution arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. Now let's hear it. Here's the next one we was talking about. Verse 22. I like that. I like what he said. And what did it say? Because of the word. Y'all said, if my children have a problem with me, they got a problem with him. Now that's my blood. But yet he's letting me know, if they got a problem with him, with me, they got a problem with him. Praise the Father that I serve. Now, verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of the world. There it go. Because now I'm on top. I got this, and I'm bad at this. And you know what I'm saying? They let everything. And this is why even the people on YouTube, they would teach and preach and give messages, people giving them praise and likes and subscribing and boosting them. But let YouTube stop sending them a check. And I seen that with French, y'all. Let YouTube cut them off and not let them get money, which is going to happen. But they so ignorant, they thinking they on high ground. They think they famous. You see, they think they popular. You know, they the light. You know, but let YouTube cut off all their checks like they did those people's banks. And you know what? Let YouTube do it only one day, just one day. You'll see these people show who they are. You'll see these people come out and show who they are. But this is what happens. And this in verse 22, he said, he also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world. Now, I like this here. I'm going to tell you why I like this. He said this here. The ones that's in the thorns, they hear the word. You hear that, Deborah? They hear it, but this is what happened. And the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches Because they so darn ignorant, they don't understand. All the money in the world is not going to save you. If anything, it's going to send you to the lake of fire where you need to be. Because that's the mindset it take on when you are on this earth. You get just like he said. Now let's finish what he said. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he become unfruitful. That's what they do, y'all. That's what they become that. Because they think it, people really, and it's no way, it's no way of pulling them out. It's no way of preaching them out. It's no way of teaching them out. You can give them the pure adulterated word. You can give them the keys to the kingdom as it has been given to you. You can give it to them. I'm talking about in words and teaching. Okay? It don't matter. When they caught up in the world and what they have, and they think you ain't got what they got, let me tell you something. Then they over there, and they will find every fault and wrongdoing in every word. They sit lurking, waiting for you to say one word out of line so they can go somewhere else with themselves being so much better. Why? Because the cares of the world, and that is when people go get materialistic things and make it about they this and they that, and then the little money hit their hands, then they all over themselves and fail to realize. That should give you a sight that hell is waiting for you. Because listen to what he says. And he said, and the cares of the world and the deceitfulness. Look how he said deceitfulness of riches. Because people don't understand money come to make you stupid. That's what it's coming to do. It's come to make you stupid. And you thinking you being more smarter because you got it. You got something somebody else don't have. It makes you stupid. Because there's no way I'm going to let money and the cares of this world be my ticket to the lake of fire. When you grip that you can't take it with you, that should be a light bulb right there. When you grip, you're going to die and have to leave it all. What Solomon said, and with those that I'm going to leave it with, they ain't going to be who I am. And guess what Solomon didn't know? He was 100% right in what he was saying. They ain't going to feel about y'all like he feel about y'all. So thinking that you having and you building up your heavens on the earth, that's what 99.9 is doing today. They thinking they building and preparing their heaven here on earth. And that's all they need. Okay. Now, and he said they are the choke the word, and he become unfruitful. Because now it ain't about y'all's business. Before they didn't have no money, they was holding them down. They all this and all that. Now little money hit them. Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with him now. And they can find error in everything, in every word anyone is saying. Now they can't fall under learning anymore. They can't go under listening and hearing, because now I'm above that. And that's what it comes to do. So even though a lot of people say it ain't the money, but let me tell you something. You's a fool, and you gonna stay a fool if you don't think that is. That destroy people. And what does it say here? What does it say here, Deborah, though? What is Yeshua saying here? What is Yeshua saying, Deborah? He says, the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches. What is riches if it ain't money? You see what I'm saying? You won't have nothing if you don't have money. Deceit, because they deceive that. They don't understand. You don't get money to bless yourself. You get money to bless those that Yah has called, to bless those spirits that he has called down here. People don't grip that, and it's too late to grip it, and it don't matter anymore. It's over. So he said, let them have what they have, because that's what Solomon said. That's your portion. He said, what Solomon said, enjoy it here on the earth, because that's your portion. Okay? Verse 23, it says, for he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it which also bears fruit and bring forth so an hundredfold, bring forth some a hundredfold, some 60 and some 30. Okay, now this is what he had to tell the disciples. Now, do y'all? I'm gonna give you the mystery of it all, because I know y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, in Matthew's chapter 13, the Father is setting here pretty much what the kingdom of heaven is like unto. And he's saying to the multitude in a line of a parable. If you notice in verse 4, Matthew chapter 13, verse 4, I'm showing y'all mystery. You notice it said to the multitude, and when he sowed some seeds. Do you see that word seed? Can you see the word seed? Seeds. You see that? It has an S, right? Why does that seeds that was sown fell by the wayside? Why is it SEEDS? Okay. Why is it SEEDS? Okay. And you go over here where he breaks the parable down to the disciples. And he said, verse 18, hear ye therefore parables of the sower. Notice he said some seeds fell by the wayside. Okay. Some fell in stony places. Some fell in, the thorns. But over here, he tells them a different way. 2 ways. The parable that was different from them is he's letting the disciples know that I gave them the word. It wasn't seed, it was the word. Their seed he gave them was the seed of the word. Look here at, let's go there. And when they heard the word of the kingdom and understand it not, okay, cometh, and the wicked one catches away that which was sown in their heart. This is he which received the, you see that SEED? You see that seed? That's a singular. You see that? That seed is what they received. Okay. So he broke it down to them that he had to talk to them totally different than the way he was talking to them. Okay. And he broke it down to the disciples as the word. When in verse 19, let's go to 18. Verse 18, he said, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Now he wants them to understand the parable of the sower, not in the parable, but out of the parable. So he began to talk to them how the kingdom had set it up. Now, what did he say? When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not. See, now he's telling them that, wait a minute now, I gave them what I gave you, but they didn't know it because I gave you the word and how the word was given unto them for them. See, even though it was a parable, it was still the word. And that's what he broke it down to the disciples in a way that they can understand that it's not like I'm doing them wrong. It's that I'm giving you the words because you're going to know it when I give it to you because you are branded. Them, they ain't going to know it because they ain't branded. But I'm going to give them the word because listen right here. in verse 18, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. So Yeshua had to break up and break down. He had to break up and break down to the disciples the word from the kingdom of heaven. Okay? How would he say it? From heavens, the way heavens had prepared the parable. Let's put it like that. So the parable was the way that the kingdom of heaven had prepared it for the multitude of those who can't see, nor can they hear. But yet they still was getting the word, but they was getting it in parables. But see, the disciples figured out, well, why are they getting something? We getting something, you getting the same thing, except for you gonna get it and you gonna know it. They gonna get it and they ain't gonna know it. That's the difference. And sometimes people would think that, okay, he gave them parables when that's kind of unfair. And that's pretty much what the disciple was saying. But Yeshua was assuring them, wait a minute, let me throw down for y'all so y'all can get this here. And who is he saying this to? Hear ye, hear ye who? Disciples, hear ye, therefore, the parable of the sower. Verse 19, when one heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in their hearts. This is he which received the seed by the wayside. Okay, now you see he said seed by the wayside, and up here when it said, and when he saw it, some seeds fell by the wayside. It's a different, he had to say it to them this way, them in the parable, but he had to break it down to the disciples the different way to where the disciples understood it. But even though he gave the multitude the parables, they couldn't understand it. So that's why he gave it to them that way, but gave it to the disciples a different way, because the way that he gave it to them, he knew that they could see. The way that he gave it to them, he knew that they could hear. So that was the difference. And it leads Sister Deborah back to where she's at today. And pretty much wanted to say again, I thank him because I cannot do nothing without him. I can't eat, sleep, think, pray, repent. I can't do anything without him, and nor do I desire to do without him. He is all that and some, and he's going to always be all that and some in me, upon me, around me. He just means that much to me. Now I don't say I wish. I know that I mean to him more than I mean to myself. And I thank him for that, because the things that he has revealed to me, I stay here and mind my own business, don't bother nobody, don't get in nobody else's beef or all of this. But yet he's ever teaching me, revealing things to me. And I love it. I love it because somebody like me, let's say it's nothing that he don't allow. It's nothing that he don't allow to pass me. And especially if he know it's coming up on me, he always give me a niche. Okay, Deborah, this is what it's gonna be. This gonna happen, or this person's gonna communicate. This one's gonna say this, or this one's gonna say that. To me, that shows me that it's not about any and everybody. It's about the relationship you have with him yourself. You cannot make others have the relationship that you and him have. They have to have their own relationship with him and get to know him for who he is. Right now, I don't know what's going on as far as, and I have a tendency of saying that. I do know, but I'm just saying it's a sad thing. something else that took place about the banks and the situation going on with the banks. This is what he was saying when he said, I created the body of Hamashiach, meaning the body of Christ, which is the Hamashiach, and the body. Therefore, we should have everything that we need, that we need. And one thing I can truly say is when things are happening on the earth, because the body is not unified and not together and totally out of whack and off course, then this is the reason why people don't get the pure information they need. And now I fully understand it to the point where I'm kind of glad that the Father have done everything that I have understood in this, in the instructions and direction, and in the wilderness, being taught by the Ruach HaKodesh. Everything that I understand have shown me the way we want to see it, the way we think it, the way we feel it. You see, nothing. The way things are going on, if people were in the body of Hamashiach like they should have been, and not all over the place, don't know their purpose, don't know they calling, they don't know nothing. What are you to be doing right now? What are you to be doing in Yah? And what is Yah doing in you? They can't even find that. They can't find it. But I say unto you, I've said this here more than once. If I was connected to a unified group, they would see the need to always have a prophet in the midst. They would see the need. But because everybody have built their own temple, their own church, their own body of Christ, Yah has to let them do it. That's what he keeps saying. I'm done, Deborah. I'm done. You know, I was done even before I started. It was finished before it was created. So I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But it's you know, I think of it because, like, say for instance, the banks. When you are the gifts of Yah in the body, every part will support and supply everything that's needed in this day we're in and the days to come. But because somewhere the body is out of whack, all over the place. Because I think about what they did to the banks regarding the banks. That was just a test. That was just a test. They're doing a lot of tests on how the people are going to react once we touch they how would I say it? Once we touch where they hurt. We touch the places that they hurt the most. We're going to see their reaction. So we'll know the next time how we touch, how they're going to react. People don't understand that. Just because Biden get back on, he said when they're going to open it back up and they're going to let the people get their money tomorrow or this morning or whatever, that, you know what? The moment they went and doing that to those people bank, all the people, everyone who had an account there should have been down there at the banks and shouldn't go home, should sleep outside all night long. Just to show them, wait a minute, this is the response you're going to get. You do it again. It ain't no, we're going to come to the conclusion, we're going to fire the managers. We're going to, no. This ain't it, y'all. This ain't it. It's a part of the plan. It has to be this way, y'all. It's got to be this way. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it. A lot of people, but the problem I have is this. And the reason why I said that they should have been down at the bank, everybody, and stayed all night. Everybody should have taken whatever they had, sleep outside at every one of these banks that held the money. Don't go home. Let them do it. You got to. When people do not respond, and they respond in a way of putting a trust and belief in those who run in their country, all it shows. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest. What it shows, Sister Deborah, And y'all, we moving fast. It's gonna go before you know it. It's gonna next thing you know, you're gonna have to be up out of here. Like a blink of an eye. Because everything that they're doing, even from this V shot, from this biochemical that they put out a couple of years ago, all this stuff, nobody blinked. Nobody marched. Nobody said no. They know how to get everything in line. This place here is the what it's going to is known to be the target. Not cause it's just in here. They know that this is Babylon, this country. They know that. They know that it's in there. They know that. So they're working the part on their end to see it through. You see what I'm saying? See, that shows y'all thinking that they bothering y'all. They taking our money. They taking our food. They doing this. They doing that. No, they doing the word of y'all. They knew already. That's so the bank, it's nothing. People running and no one's running, marching. Me, myself, I'm thinking, if these people are not doing anything after they done that to their money, and they not doing anything because of the biochemical, and they not doing, and that's what I was saying to Father, they doing it, they doing it, the people ain't doing nothing, ain't nobody saying it. Deborah, this need be. This need be. So I said, okay, but if they did this, Father, then it'll slow them down, at least give them, what you want things to slow down for, Deborah? You want them to go picket outside the bank? Yeah. So this stuff can slow down. You don't want it to slow down. They walking my word out. They walking the word in this instructions and direction that I have prophesied, had my prophets to prophesy. They taking the prophecies out of here and they walking it up and they walking it down. They preparing it just as I have prophesied it. Yeshua prophesied it. The prophets prophesied it. I prophesied it. So it's everything there. And he said, okay, I'm thinking this is me. They should have marched and they should have sat out all night. It'll slow it down. But as I said, the Spirit said to me, think that up quick. Think it quick, like a flash. Think it. What would that serve, Deborah? My will. They on my time, not yours. They can go out there and pick it, stay all night. It ain't going to change that hour that we are in. It ain't going to change it. So me seeing people not reacting to things is the norm for the Most High or higher. Because what you going to react to something you can't change. You can't do nothing about it. It's going to walk itself out. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to be over before you know it. So, but I guess going back to what I said, I'm a living prophet, not a dead one. And because I'm living in these days, that is what is heavy for me. But me too have to stay in my lane, that lane in which he has designed for me to run in. I have to stay in that lane. So a lot of things that they're doing, you can't beat them. Don't join them, but you can't beat them. So what people are doing, they're doing a lot of what I call monkey talking, getting people to join their way of living it to the utmost. I've been watching yesterday. No, matter of fact, it's been like 3 days in a row. I've been watching a lot of people doing their off the grid, people living out in the areas of their land and everything. And they got it. You know what? I sit back and watch those people and they seem like they got a peace of mind. I mean, they're out there and they don't have everything they need, but they just seem like they got a peace of mind. And they feel that, okay, I'm getting away from the city. I'm out here. I've got my farm. I got chickens, goats, cows. They got pigs. They got all this and that. And then I look at that and I say, okay, Father, is this what you would let me be in the midst of? Something to where I'm way out, you know, he would never respond because he knows that I'm in full understanding. No matter where you at, it ain't gonna change nothing. It ain't gonna change nothing. But I like the idea of just a peace being out in the woods. It's not so much as I would say it would be woods, because the things that I even pictured it so many times, and like I said, I can draw pretty good, and I drawn it out. I'm just saying, okay, if you let me do this would be nice, wouldn't it? And he don't never respond. But I give him all praise and glory and honor, because I know that no matter what, he still got me. No matter where I'm at and where I've been and where I'm going, he's still in front of me and every side and even in the back of me. So I just thank him. So I say unto you all, I hope you have, and I don't hope, I pray that you have a blessed night. And I will be back again. So shalom and shalom.